Tell me what you need, what you really need, justice. Tell me what you want, what you really want, justice. Tell me what you need, what you really need, justice. Tell me what you want, what you really want, justice. Tell me what you need, what you really need, justice.
Come all you good workers, good news to us.
The Economic Justice Day of Action is an initiative of the Welfare Warriors, a project of Prayer for Economic Justice. We are a group of lesbians, gay, bisexual, trans, and gender non-conforming people with experience of poverty who organize to make the welfare system accountable to low-income LGBT/GNC people. Through directive action, community education, and coalition building with other progressive organizations, we seek to empower our communities and to connect our struggles for welfare rights to larger struggles for economic justice and for social justice.
This isn't on here, but that was like after this group was when we started meeting at the end of the leadership group to form Welfare Warriors, and then we like planned the community speak out. We have gender self-determination in shelters and the first Trans Justice TDOA March, Trans Day of Action March.
They don't believe that I didn't know there's a gay community here in New York City, because everyone in in Oklahoma or all these other states where they know that San Francisco and New York are like the most, if you're gay, this is where you want to flock to have the lifestyle. Yeah, but I didn't know. I was so sheltered in my parents, and they had these religious values, and started I stayed well into college. I just kind of stayed in that mindset, that a little religious mindset where there's really, I hear on television there's a gay community here in New York City, but and what?
I mean, over there it's very racist towards us. They have a medical center there. Well, it was a center like how we have here in New York, where you can just go and socialize and hang out with other people. And people are so scared to get off at that particular stop to go to the center, because when they get off, people will harass them or beat them up. And a lot of people over there have been beat up and killed. And I found out from being there also that, they treat us like animals. Like they would go out on a mission who could kill the most gay people, and they will make it like a game. And I was very shocked and surprised about that. And the center that they had for us over there, they had to turn it into a medical center for women, like to see a GYN doctor or a medical doctor. But it's still a center, but you just have to sneak in there and pretend you're going to see the doctor when you're really not going to see the doctor. So that cut down the violence.
We know that when there are new tactics developed to control people, they're always tried first on poor people, prisoners, immigrants, and people of color. The Real ID Act is another example of this. It's a proposal to formally combine our driver's license info, tax info, criminal records, welfare, and immigration info. For some of us who have been through the shelter system or prison, we have these information about us combined already. So when we get our driver's license renewed, it's an opportunity for deportation. When we go to the welfare office, it's an opportunity to check our parole status. And when we apply for green cards, it's an easier way to deny citizenship to HIV positive folks on Medicaid. But my identity is my own. Is yours?
We're fabulous, don't fuck with us. We're here, we're queer, we're fabulous, don't fuck with us.
I just need this specific agency right now to change my F. I have my non-driver's license has F. My Medicaid has F. Why is this Social Security is not, you know what I'm saying, taking me there like that? Once you change your name, my name was changed. But see, on my birth certificate, my name was Horace Bianca Crandall. Then my name is Bianca Horace Crandall, which was my sister's twin name. So now I need all my ID to stay female. So what I had to do, I have to go through the procedures of giving them a doctor's letter from my doctor for telling them my gender and everything. And they will have to go from the paperwork from there to take it and take input F on my papers. This woman is giving me a hard time every time I'm coming. I done took back the same letter 4 times already. So I went to Siregar this week to see if I could get a lawyer to come in and represent me. They sent me my birth certificate because I'm a trans intersex person. They said that I can go and get a birth certificate that says no sex. But then I heard that you can't, that you can't do that now. But they said if I'm a United States citizen, I can go and get a birth certificate that has no gender. So I'm gonna go and try that because they sent me my birth certificate back and they took it back because they put the wrong gender. So I'm trying to wait for that to come back to me before I start it again. But I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up though. Because this is mine, this is me, this is who I am, this is my identity.
You know, in New York State, there's only one treatment facility that has a program geared towards gays and lesbians. That's at Manhattan State Addiction Treatment Center. There's nothing else. There are a lot more of us out there that are struggling, that may not want to come into treatment because the facilities are not gay and lesbian friendly, or because it's not geared towards gays and lesbians. And I think that's what's keeping a lot of us out of treatment. When I wanted to talk about my transgendered issues, they said I wasn't dealing with the real issues why I got high. And I'm not the only one. I know other people that were told that they weren't dealing with the real issues when they wanted to talk about being gay or being lesbian. Being places say that they're sensitive to these issues, but they're not. On Long Island, there's only one gay and lesbian, or they call it Special Interest Narcotics Anonymous meeting, and me and some friends of mine are starting a second one. There's a couple of AA meetings, but there's no Narcotics Anonymous meetings. The difference between AA and Narcotics Anonymous is AA, or Alcoholics Anonymous, only focuses on alcohol. Narcotics Anonymous focuses on any mind or mood-altering substance, so it's more inclusive. I mean, one thing I'd love to do is I'd love to educate a lot of these drug and alcohol programs on sensitivity to transgendered issues, because they're not sensitive to these issues.
Up with the people!
Yeah, yeah!
Up with the people!
Yeah, yeah!
Up with the people!
Yeah, yeah!
Down with Bush!
On Bloomberg too! I said up with the people! Yeah, yeah! Beautiful people! Yeah, yeah! All wear red! Yeah, yeah! So gorgeous! Yeah, yeah! Up with the people! Yeah, yeah! Down with poverty! Down with homelessness! Up with QEJ! Yeah, yeah! Up with QEJ! Yeah, yeah!
The teacher called me a faggot. It was a rainy day. There was not enough sun out for my Leo. I felt a little bit depressed. And he said, you know what really stinks? Faggots that don't make it into the kingdom of heaven. And then somebody put their hand up and said, Leviticus, Leviticus. And this is where I got my confirmation that he was directly talking about me. He looked me directly in the eyes. His lips moved. All I got into was a gay faggot in hell. And I was like, okay, This is where I dropped all the language barriers that kept me strong. I told the teacher, I said, let me explain something to you. If you disrespect me in the last minute and 45 seconds we have left in this class, I'm going to come up here tomorrow with my gun and I'm going to bust a cap in your ass. The high school hearing, the superintendent hearing that I attended wanted to know my side of the story. I pled no contest, or in other words, I chose not to speak about it and to accept the consequences of my actions, which basically resulted in a superintendent suspension. I did not want to be 20 years old in high school number 10.
Super Butch. Exactly. Super Butch came from a nickname that when I lived in the New York City shelter systems, people started calling me. My name is Jay Toole. I'm the shelter organizer for Queers for Economic Justice, and I'm so glad to see so many people here today making a difference. Yeah, let's get up for ourselves. Yeah. So my thing is homelessness. You know, I was on the streets of New York for 25 years, living in boxes and then shelters. So I know what it's like. And these people that are here today from the New York City shelter want housing, and they need housing. When I was asked to speak today, I didn't know what I was going to say. And then a week ago today, I walked into New Providence's women's shelter. And my heart broke. Another woman in a homeless shelter in New York fucking City died naked in a bathroom. It's deplorable that New York does this to our people. We have a crisis here. There's like 35,000 people in the New York City shelter systems tonight. And there's no housing to be done.
What you have to realize, though, is that the village represents people from the outside who visit the village, not really the people that live there anymore. The village is comprised mainly of us who visit the village as opposed to the people that live there. The people that live there are the people who can afford those outrageous rents. But those are not necessarily the inhabitants of the village. They leave the village, go to work, they come home. We visit the village and make the village the village. They don't make the village the village. They just found out that it's a nice place to live, and they have gentrified it and destroyed it, really.
We're here. We're queer. We won't turn back, y'all. We're here. We're queer.
Went to CR10, went to Song, drove to Song, drove back from Song. I think one person drove both ways the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. I think that there's such an amazing group of us that's in the car, and we have a deep range of experiences, right, that we're bringing to the South with us. And I think it's important that we're going to be sharing our experiences as people who are struggling in the North and building in the North and making Queers for Economic Justice the amazing space it is, and kind of learning new strategies and ways to do the work and ways to live in our bodies and in our spirits, and that's what I'm excited about.
I feel very excited about this trip because it's my first time really being in the South, and it's something that I wanted to experience. And because Song does multiracial, pro-LGBTGNC rights organizing in rural as well as urban areas, I feel that it's a great learning opportunity for me as a first visit to the South. It was a reminder just of how hazardous it can be just to need to do something as human and regular as going to the bathroom, because you, Reg, and myself went to the Maryland House rest stop about 10 a.m. This morning, and we walked into the women's room. Noticed on the way out that there were police. There was a police car outside. There were policemen standing up on the, on the balconies trying to look for. How did you say it, Kenyon? You used a very nice term.
I said I used characters of dubious distinction.
Exactly. just we weren't representing the gender that people expected would go into a women's room. And so we also noticed that there was one employee who really paid attention to us when we were walking into this place and must have been the one to tip off the cops.
Well, I heard y'all saying the cops said that they are paying them. Okay, we are paying them too. We work with our tax money, paying them too. True or false? True or false?
So it's called When We Move, You Move. Y'all know the song. So it's when we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. Yo, NYPD, step the fuck back. Hey, great. Yeah, y'all don't mind us cussing a little? Okay. So when we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. Yo, NYPD, step the fuck back. When we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. Yo, NYPD, step the fuck back. When we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. Yo, NYPD, step the fuck back. When we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. When we move, you move, just like that. Yo, NYPD, step the fuck back.
So I went to a race trader meeting and did some anti-police brutality work with them, and really believe in the abolition of the white race. Like that ethic of undermining whiteness by doing things like cop watching, refusing privilege when you can, so not behaving as white. Like I do believe that it's a behavior as well as a mindset, but like you act it out. What happened was I found myself in mostly or all white organizing spaces over and over. And I didn't know how to stop that other than to stop it. And so I took a break from community organizing until I could develop more relationships with people of color in my life and do organizing with us. I think that's a lot of where that emphasis on relationship has come from for me. And actually is a theme throughout a lot of my work. And so how to do multiracial organizing, which is the only kind of organizing I want to do, from an authentic place means actually, finding people I like and connecting with people. I was really frustrated without doing any organizing and met with Joseph DeFilippis because he's a friend of mine and I know him, and he said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do at QEJ, what do you want to do? And working on the leadership development course with Dwayne was with Dwayne Ola, who's an amazing organizer, who was the welfare organizer at that time, was one of the things that could use support from a volunteer. So I came and volunteered, and now I'm getting videotaped.
We're here. We're queer. We won't turn back, y'all. We're here.
One of the things I want to express is that being a transgender woman is that we're also a part of the movements and things that are going on. We might not be as visible as some of us might like, but we are involved. We are at the bottom of the totem pole of all this crap that happens to us, the abuses that just reign supreme in our lives. And one of the things that happens is we can change that. We can stop that shit from happening. We can all band together and tell them we're not taking this shit anymore. It's over. They want to build other prisons. They want to make them gender friendly. They don't know what gender fucking is. One of the things that I've noticed is we want to make sure here that we get involved with and know that there was a past before this happened. I'm a part of that past. I was in New York for Stonewall. I was in Denmore and Sing Sing, and after the Attica riots, I got sent to Attica. Spent all my time in there in the cell getting to meet the guys who pulled this thing off and listen and watch and could smell all the abuses they were putting those people through. They don't need an excuse. They just run through us. They run through our families, they run through our society, they run through who we are. We have to do something about this. Having all of y'all here gives me hope that tomorrow it don't have to be this way. Tomorrow my younger girls can go out, be who they need to be freely. Freely. That's what counts. One of the things I want to tell you is by working with the Transgender Intersex Justice Project, we are really trying to do a lot of work to help the girls who come out of there not recidivate and go back to prison. Because what happens when you go to prison for such a long time, and so often, and against your will, you acclimate to it. We are a resilient bunch of folks. We get our nerves together, deal with the bullshit that's coming, and go on with our lives. We are going to be who we are, regardless of what the pressures are to stop that.
I'm really trying to figure out what actually are ways that I can exercise my power. And I think from that, in 2005, I started teaching at Rikers, which is a jail in Queens / the Bronx. And I was teaching at this high school called Island Academy. And I was doing it while through school at Columbia. And I started having these real experiences about kind of a real shift away from this tension between, like, do I become, part of this larger political system, or do I do work in opposition to it? And then later kind of arrived on this question of, like, neither of those are enough. Those are about, like, conflicting. I'm really trying to figure out what actually are ways that I can exercise my power. So I was teaching at Rikers and starting to really think about my experience as, someone whose parent was incarcerated, and wanting to be in a space where I could, live with that experience and talk on that experience. And even, at Columbia, even in this class, it wasn't until, like, the last day of the class that I let people know that, like, my dad was still in prison. And so then I joined Critical Resistance, which is an organization that fights the prison industrial complex. And I think a lot of my understandings of like how we share power in a way that doesn't mimic what, like, HRA, the Welfare Office, understands power to be, or, the Social Security Administration, or this nation state. I think that's where a lot of my political understandings came from, like really trying to do something new. I think that we really struggle with each other and struggle for each other and struggle to make sure that we're heard and seen by each other, first and foremost, and build the world that we want to create. So that's why I love this community.
Shout outs to those who have pioneered theoretical and activist efforts to challenge the role the prison system plays as a gendering apparatus. Shout outs to the new movements with and on behalf of trans prisoners. A radical abolitionist feminism.
We believe in home, all beautiful. Home, enough bellies breathe and sigh, enough skin rest dance free. Enough courage carry all life. This a home no landlord, tenant, bank imagine. No passport, jail, shelter claim. No developer gift, no reparation furnish. This home free a body crossing and shame. Free a memory break. No shame, all beautiful. This home pray for lost and stolen. Home now free, a traveling fence, finger and sky breaking open. Free enough many home, many body, home and whole together. Home safe and full spirit prayer. body prayer, full desire. Home, wider song and cooking, wider shape of wood, brick, and stone. Home, wider shapes weave together. Full and wide enough, spirit return to body. Enough whole body, each body, heart body, wholly beautiful. Holy, so holy, body homeless, turn home again. We want home, all home, all beautiful. Home alive, so alive, heart brave thunder, shake out of hiding. So wholly beautiful, and so wholly brave. Everybody home, and everybody free.
Tell